Everybody, what's going on? Today, we're going to talk about some champs to be on the lookout for in the early game. Now, I want to give a disclaimer. I'm a bit of an old school player, recently returning. So some things may have changed. There may be some champs that I don't talk about here. If there's someone that I don't mention or anything that you want to add to what I say, please drop it in the comments below. If you've been playing for a little bit and there's someone I don't mention or anything that you think I don't mention in this video, please drop it in the comments. I would really appreciate the information for myself and for my viewers. I'm really doing this for the community that I'm kind of bringing over with me. So I'm going to do my best to cover everything that I'm aware of, but it's almost inevitable with how much has been added to the game that I don't mention some things. So again, any assistance in the comments would be super helpful. But I wanted to focus today on just champs that you need to be on the lookout for, because that's always one of the big things if you're familiar with these games. It feels very risky early on to feed champs and not build champs. So I'm gonna tell you who, starting with 2 stars to keep an eye out for, who is really good, and a couple of other suggestions related to champs and how you're gonna get them. So let's start with those before we just go look at the champs, okay? The first thing, this Summoner's Way quest system, you want to be focusing on this straight out of the gate, right from the beginning, because the rewards in here are great. You're going to get a lot of scrolls, a lot of resources. It's really, really nice. You're getting a lot of really cool stuff from here. One of the really important things that you're going to get is way back at the beginning here, Water Magic Knight. She's going to be your first 4-star champ, and she is great. She's well worth a 6-star. Let the missions guide you through doing it. I'm almost sure they're retroactive, but Raid has kind of scarred me. So try to wait until the missions guide you through it. It's pretty smooth progression anyway. So just let the missions guide you through building her up. It's going to give you runes for her. It's going to give you awakening materials for her. You don't have to go farm any of that on your own, okay? And that's something I did, was I kind of jumped out ahead of it and started trying to farm water essences and trying to do other things. And if I would have focused more closely on the missions, it would have taken care of all that for me. It would have given me stuff to max level her, 6-star her, gear her up, awaken her. It'll set you up if you just let the missions guide you. So she's going to be your progression champ. She's good all the way through the campaign. I'm using her in my Giants B10 team currently. She's not the best candidate for a Giants team, but the way that it's set up for me, it's working. She's kind of absorbing the hit, and we'll talk about dungeons later. But get her, do what the missions tell you to do with her. She's fantastic. She can be your farmer forever, and your Famon farmer, because that's where you want to have a farmer set up. So just let the missions tell you what to do with her. She's well worth everything it's going to have you put into her, okay? She's fantastic. Another one here is the Light Fairy. She is also excellent. You can go ahead and start building her when you get her as well. Regular fairies will skill her up. Some of the fairies, they might not be 3 stars. Maybe they're, I don't remember I think they're all 3 stars. So you can get them from unknown scrolls if you're lucky, mystical scrolls, but you can skill her up with regular fairy. I think she's a fairy queen, but I think she's the only fairy queen in the game, but she still gets skilled up by other fairies, just regular fairies, okay? She's also excellent. She's a cleanser. She's got immunity. I think she's a cleanser. No, she's just, yeah, there you go. She's a cleanser, heal. She's got immunity, attack buff. Excellent champs. Little speed lead. Excellent champ. They might be giving you this to skill up your fairy queen. That might be what she's for, okay? But anyway, follow these missions, and they'll give you champs that you can kind of do everything with for a while, okay? Down here in the challenges, each one of the dungeons, the first mission it's going to have you do is check the strategy info. You can click go from here. It's going to take you to the dungeon page, and then there's a button that says strategy info. I'll show you real quick where it is. Right here. You're just going to do that. And that's going to be how you complete that first mission. And it's going to give you a champ that's very good for the dungeon. This is a natural 2-star champ, and that's one of the things you're going to notice about this game, is that a lot of the 2-star champs are very usable. I saw a video years ago from one of the World Championship live arena events where someone had their Kona Mia built, and we'll talk about Kona soon, but they had their Kona Mia built in a way where they won a fight. They like soloed a team. The rest of the team got taken out, and they soloed someone with just their Kona. So the 2-star champs can be very good all the way at the end of the game. All right. So Shannon is an excellent member of a Giants team. So that's why they're giving you Shannon here. So when you get her, start building her up. You could skill her up with other pixies. You're going to get tons of pixies from Unknown Scroll. She's going to be very easy to skill up. And she's excellent. She's well worth a 6-star. And I believe she has a second awakened form, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Okay. Same thing with Dragon. It's going to have you do the same thing, and it's going to give you Water Howl. Lulu, she's also excellent for Dragon. And she also has a second awakened form, if I'm not mistaken. Same thing with Shannon, though. Shannon is excellent. And so is Lulu, okay? Excellent champs to build. And then Necropolis, I haven't done it yet, but it's going to give you Colleen. Obviously going to be excellent for Necropolis. She is really good. So lots of 2-stars, lots of very viable 2-stars in the game. And this is a good way to get 3 really good ones without having to do a single thing. You literally go check the strategy info on all the dungeons. You can knock them all out while you're in the same page if you want. And then come in here and scoop up your 2 champs, and they're going to be great. She's great support, HP and attack buff. She's got HP, or she's got recovery block, heal block. Lulu, again, great support, cleanser, healer. And then Shannon is great support in her impact on the enemy. She defense buffs and attack buffs the team. It's been a while. Yeah, attack and defense buff for 3 turns. And then she's got a slow, an AoE slow on her A2. Put her in a despair set, which it'll probably recommend that you do. And you'll be fine. All right. So that's a good way to get some solid champs straight out of the gate. All right. Straight out of the gate, you can get a decent roster going of champs. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and talk about other champs to keep an eye out for. Very quickly, if it's a Silver Star champ, it's food 100% of the time. Silver Star champs are made to be food, all right? 1-star champs are food. I think 1-star and Silver Star champs are always food. That's a safe thing to say. Now, I'm going to very quickly go down the list and just tell you anyone you should keep an eye out for. So it's going to be a little bit fast, but that's how it's going to be. So let's see. So this is Fire Harpy. Awakened, she's Colleen. Every monster gets a name when you awaken them. So right now, Harpoo. That's not Colleen, sorry. It's been a while. Give me a break. Where is she? Where is Colleen? That's Harpy. Lukasha. No, that's Harpoo. I was right. Okay. Harpoo. I may have been calling her Harpy earlier, sorry. There's Harpoo and Harpy. Harpy's a 3-star, Harpoo's a 2-star. I don't know much about her, but I know she's great. So she's real good. So keep an eye out for Fire Harpoo. You're gonna get a lot of this guy when you start farming Phaemon. His name is Rauk when he's awakened. He's really cool, actually. He's a really cool champ. He's got a passive when he's awakened, where actually maybe he doesn't have to be awakened. Yeah, there you go. Get an extra turn if you kill the enemy. And then he's also got a team up where he teams up with an ally. And then here he's got a chance to hit consecutively. And I have seen him pop off. It's ridiculous. And then, he's got a second awakened form. There's probably a lot of monsters that have second awakened forms. Again, we'll talk about that later. That's something you don't need to worry about for now. I think that's a little bit later game stuff, all right? So Fire Harpoo, Rauk is cool. You'll get plenty of him from Phaemon. Fire Griffin is excellent. Really good champ. Kali is also I like Kali a lot in Guild Wars. Not a great all-around champ, but Guild Wars is actually really usable. Who else? Randy's really good. Randy can be really interesting. Let's see. Fire Harg, Raccoony, one of my favorite champs in the game. I love me some Raccoony. Amazing for Guild Wars. Great support all around. Just such a cool champion. Relatively easy to get. Relatively easy to skill up if you're doing a bit of summons. Raccoony is fantastic. One of my favorite champs in the game. And then with 4-stars and 5-stars, just assume every 5-star is good. You know what I mean? I think that's probably a safe bet. Assume every 5-star is good. As far as 4-stars that are like standout that I remember, I feel like I remember the Fire Joker having some interesting or Fire Ninja having some interesting mechanics for PvP. Fire Vampire, insane. Vertihill is insane. He's a premier pull if you get him. What's your name, Chloe? I think Chloe's also very usable. Not so strong anymore, or at least at the time that I stopped playing. There was a time where Chloe was insane to deal with. She's not so bad anymore, but she's still very, very good if they haven't changed her. Hua also, excellent champ. She's great in certain TOA situations. Good all around. She's got a lot of turn meter manipulation and stuff. She's really good. Let's see. Who else stands out in here? Moon. Never understood how to say his name, but he's also really, really good. Kind of broken for Guild Wars back in the day. Very good. And then a lot of these champs here I don't recognize. A lot of these champs here are new. And then again, just assume all the Nat 5s are good. Okay, that's probably a pretty safe bet. Now again, there's probably some in here I didn't mention. There's probably some content I don't know about that's been added. I don't know a lot about the 2 new dungeons, Punisher's Crypt and Steel Fortress, I think they're called. So again, I'm giving you what I remember. Anybody that wants to add to it, please do. It would be incredibly helpful. For water champs, this is Konamiya. This is the Water Garuda. Very easy to get. It's going to give you a Konamiya from missions. It's going to give you an Awakened Konamiya at some point. I don't remember exactly when it does it, but it's fairly early on. Kona is crazy good, man. For a 2-star champ, crazy good. All right, so Kona's well worth a build, well worth a 6-star. Here's Lulu. This is the Water Howl. We talked about Lulu. I remember Dagora being kind of interesting. Dagora can be usable in certain situations. Has kind of an interesting kit. Probably not someone to expedite, but for some reason I remember Dagora being decent. Rena used to be a huge problem to deal with. I think if you run into an experienced player or maybe catch someone off guard with her, she can be very difficult to kill. You can force a stalemate with Rena. She's kind of interesting. I remember this guy being interesting for dragons, is it dragon or giant? There's some speedrun team he used to be a part of, but beyond that, I don't think super usable. Megan, one of the best supports in the game, and so easily accessible. If you get Megan, 6-star her, she's insanely good, and apparently has a second awakened form now, which is exciting. I'm going to be excited to get that done. Megan's great. Again, one of the best supports, especially at 3-star, that you can get. She's really handy. She's got such usable mechanics. She's got continuous damage, which is poisons if you're coming from raid on her A1. She has she can strip a beneficial effect, and she basically replaces a beneficial effect with block beneficial effects. That's basically what that does. And then here she increases the attack bar and attack and defense of all allies. So good, man. She's so good. Let's see. Battle Mammoth, I remember being pretty solid support. Talc. I think all the mammoths are pretty good. They're so tanky. I remember the mammoths being really tanky. So Talc is interesting. I remember the water shark being kind of usable. Water Ninetail Fox, pretty usable. Tyron, great freeze, great crowd control. Julie, you can get some real good damage out of Julie. This is Orion. He is probably, I don't know what would have changed unless they nerfed him. Part of the meta for Guild Wars. When you start getting into higher level Guild Wars, you're gonna see Orion a lot. He is such a nightmare. He's such a nightmare. If you get Orion, build him. Malaka used to be a lot of fun. Good bomber. Don't know how good he is anymore, but a lot of fun. Galleon is another one of those top tier premier picks we were talking about, like Vertiheal. If you get Galleon, he's going to unlock speed runs for you, basically. He's got a defense down that he doesn't have to hit anyone with, so you don't have to worry about affinity and stuff. Attack bar, absorption. Galleon's real good. There's Water Magic Knight we've talked about. Emma, pretty solid champ. Water Horus, I remember being real good, but I can't remember why. Maybe a Katarina? Is it Katarina? No, Catherine. What's the wind fusion that... I don't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. I remember Water Jack-o'-lantern being real good. That's probably one to keep an eye out for. I don't remember why, but I remember that one being real good. Don't recognize any of these faces. Assume all the water ones are good, okay? Here, we've got Shannon. You're gonna get a Shannon, so don't worry about grabbing one and building her. Wait till you get the one it gives you. She's very easy to get, but build her up. Ramagod. He's real cool. I've always been a real big fan of this champ. I don't know how usable he is anymore, how necessary he is, but he's got a real cool skill when he's awakened, where he does as much damage as he's lost HP. So if you can get his HP super high and time this to when he has low HP, he'll one-shot just about anyone, depending on where you get his HP. He's also got a lot of good self-sustain. He's a very cool champ. You can solo a lot of stuff with him. I think I did a solo Giant Speed 10 run with him a long time ago on Vampire. He's really cool. Who else? I remember you being good. I remember the Wind Serpent being pretty decent for Guild Wars, maybe. Like hard to kill. Don't remember exactly. Here's another one of those like build as soon as you get picks. Bernard. He's going to be great for your cleave comps. Increases the attack bar of all allies, and also increases their attack speed for 2 turns. He's got attack and defense down in 1 skill, and he's great. He's really usable. He's you get him tanky. He's very usable in giants. He's again great for your arena teams to get first turn. He's got an attack power lead. He's dope, and he's got a second awaken now, which will be exciting to check out. Bernard's excellent. You can farm Bernard, if I'm not mistaken, from Timor. Man, if I'm right about that, that stuff's deep in the brain, dude. I think Timor does it. I'm not sure though. One of the campaign stages, I'm fairly certain you can farm Bernard though. Who else we got? Copper. I really like Copper. You have to build around him kind of specifically, but I used to have a Guild War team that was really good that had Copper on it. He's real gross. He's got a mechanic where if he's got higher defense than who he's attacking, he ignores defense, and you can one-shot a lot of people with him. So he's really good. Another one of those premier 3 stars, Maverick. You're not gonna think much of him probably when you read his skills, but you just have to take my word for it. Mav is a beast. He's so freaking good. So yeah, if you get Mav, build him up for sure. I remember when Mammoth being also decent. I think he had a cleanse. Yeah, removes harmful effects. So decent 3-star there. Wind Joker, another one of the very popular 4-star champs. He's got an AoE ignore defense when he's awakened. He's just gross. For a long time, he terrorized PvP. You had to build so specifically to not get Lucianed, basically. Everybody had strived to have fire-heavy defenses with high HP so that they couldn't get Lucianed. It's probably not as big of a deal these days. I imagine there's enough going on in the game now that Lucian's probably not the meta. But earlier in the game, if you get your hands on Lucian, he's probably going to help you climb an arena a bit. There's a lot of very Lucianable teams still, I would imagine. I don't know why that would have changed. He's still ignoring defense. He's still capable of a lot of damage. So he's cool. He's good. I feel like I've seen some stuff done with him. He's pretty good. I think he's got a lot of continuous damage and stuff. Wind Death Knight. Why do I remember you being real good? Revive. Yeah, I think Brian used to be pretty good for Guild Wars as well. Chasoon. For a long time was one of the best supports in the game. I don't know if that's still the case, but she's really good, man. Really good. She puts glancing on the enemy, which gives them it just makes them more likely to land a glancing hit, which means you're not going to take much damage. That's one of the debuffs in this game. Here she's got an all ally heal and that gets down to a 3-turn with an attack buff. And then this one right here balances the HP and attack bar of the target ally and your HP to a higher amount than before. This can't be blocked by heal block, and it's a real. It can turn the tide of a fight. It's real painful when it happens against you. You can have someone down to 1 HP, and she gets a turn. If they've got 1 HP and a high attack meter, and she uses this, she's gonna pull their HP up to hers, and her attack bar up to theirs. So basically, she's gonna get to go back to back, and she's gonna bring that monster that was in danger back into the fight. It's a really, really, really powerful skill. Can ruin a fight for you if it happens at the wrong time. One of the mermaids, I don't remember which one. I know the light mermaid's real good. I feel like maybe it's Wind Mermaid was also pretty usable. Maybe all the mermaids are decent. I don't really remember. I think maybe this is one of the guys that I used to build with the copper. Yeah, increases defense and crit rate of all allies and fills up target allies' attack bar. So this is someone I would use with copper. The one that I said if he has more defense, he'll ignore defense. He's part of the comp. So you build this guy real fast, and then copper, you don't have to worry about speed at all. He'll bring copper's turn meter up, give him a defense buff and a crit rate buff, so you can also build him with less crit rate. And he sets copper up to smack. He was part of the team. I don't remember who the third one was, but that was part of the team. I know this guy's real good. I'm not real familiar with him, but I know I've seen a lot about him. He kind of came around after I stopped playing. Don't recognize a lot of these, and then assume all the win nat 5s are good. Light champs. Light champs are interesting. I guess we'll go through and do the same thing. There's a couple of things I want to talk about, though, as we go through this. So, you've got your... Where's the Fairy Queen? Oh, there she is. All right, so again, I don't know what's changed. Light Garuda's pretty usable. I think it's a revive. I think you get a Light Garuda from the game. You've got a revive. Light Garuda's pretty usable. This is Bella. When you hear anyone talk about Bella, this is who they're talking about. You can get Bella from a secret dungeon. What I mean by that is when you farm the attribute dungeons to awaken champs, you have a chance of opening what's called a secret dungeon. And it's gonna be up in this menu. Here we go, we have one here. There's gonna be 10 waves of this enemy. And depending on how far you get through it every time, you're gonna get up to 4 frags for the champ per run. Very easy to get all the frags that you need, even if you can't clear the whole thing within the hour that it's open. So from the light one, let's see if it tells us which ones can drop, actually. Yes, this is the list of available secret dungeons. The ones that you want to keep an eye out for on the light side are Bella, Darien. Those are like the top 2. Those are the ones you for sure want to keep an eye out for. Light Cowgirl is also really good. And then Amon used to be very usable in a few ways. I don't know if that's still the case, but Amon, the bear man, used to be really cool. This was way back in the day. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but Bella, Inugami, Vagabond, and Cowgirl, keep an eye out for. The good news is if you don't unlock them, anyone on your friend list that does, it'll pop up for you. I think friend list and guild might automatically pop up for you, but also keep an eye on chat because it'll tell you in the normal chat. It'll tell you when people find, and you can click it and request to enter. So you used to have to sit and chat, wait on someone to find it, send them a friend request, hope they added you, and then join it that way. Now they've added a thing where you could just click the dungeon and request to enter, and it'll put you in. All right. So for your first 30 days, your attribute dungeons are all going to be open. But after that, they go on a cycle. So then it'll be like, I think Sunday is usually light day. So Sunday becomes a big day for everybody to farm these dungeons. But honestly, I'm not sure that's the case anymore because having 30 days of this, you can find them all on your own. I feel like there's no way you're not going to find the secret dungeons you need by the end of the 30 days if you're doing it. I've been farming it pretty hard. I've already gotten Cowgirl and Bella. So on my own without having to enter anyone else's. So that's important to do because Bella's crazy good. Bella's the best one to get for sure. Darian, the Vagabond, also very helpful. Can be very good in Rift, very good in Giants. I keep wanting to call Giants Dragon. I don't know why. But those are keep an eye out for those. As far as 3 stars go that you can access, those are the ones. All right. I feel like I remember you being real good. Shren ignores defense. Yeah, Shren can be really good in Guild Wars. Light Werewolf was interesting. This guy's real cool. Rago's really cool. Very hard to kill. Can be a real problem with some top tier gear in a Guild War. Can be real hard to kill because he can't take more than 1/5 of his health and damage. So he's gonna be in the fight for a little bit, and he's got some interesting mechanics. Increases defense and gives him immunity. His attack bar increases. Yeah, he can be a bit of a nuisance. Who else? Who are you? Magical Archer. You look different than the other Magical Archers, I feel like. Light Mammoth. Marble. I remember Marble being good for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but that's in my brain. Light Cowgirl we've talked about. Very Queen you already know. And then 4 stars, I think kind of just assume they're all good. 4 and 5 stars. Light and Dark 4 stars are kind of like regular Nat 5s almost. It's real hard to get them. Just assume they're all good. Don't necessarily expedite them when you get them because some of them are probably not that great. But I know that one standout for sure is Light Mermaid. Light Mermaid's one of the best in the game. Amarna also. I used to love Amarna. Man, I miss my old account. I wonder if I can get back into my old account. I really like Amarna. Anyway, quick look at those. And then, since this has this here, these are Devilmon. If you came from Raid, treat them like Legendary Tomes. Don't give them to 3 stars ever. I think very rarely give them to 4 stars, but they're kind of reserved for 5 stars, okay? As far as champs in here that are good, Dark Inugami for some reason, I feel like I remember being good. Dark Werewolf, I feel like I remember being good at something. Guild Wars maybe. Thrain, crazy good, really good in TOA. If you get a Dark Grim Reaper, you've pulled a fantastic monster, and he's got a second awaken now. Man, that looks crazy, dude. That's dope. That's a real good skin. What else? I remember you being Basalt. Yeah, I think all the elephants are good. Again, assume all the light dark Nat 4s are good. I'm trying to see if there's a super standout in here. I feel like also the Dark Mermaid is also really good. I think both mermaids are real good. I think DS is really good. And then yeah. Don't expect a light dark Nat 5 anytime soon that you don't fuse. Pheromos is a fusion, and he's great. Get him as soon as you can. But I think that's about it. That's all that I can remember off the top of my head. Hopefully this points you in the right direction. General rule of thumb anyway, keep a copy. This game gives you more than ample storage to keep a copy of everything you don't have between the sealed monster shrine and just your regular storage here. It costs 50 gems or 200,000 mana every time you upgrade it, forever. Until you max it out, it does not stair step up in value. So definitely, utilize this. If you want a quick look at my roster to see who I'm prioritizing, what I'm doing, Lapis was my first 6-star. Melia was my second. It's going to have you fuse Melia. This was a champ I was not familiar with. This is someone that was added after I stopped playing, but she's real good. Here you see I've got 5-star Kona, 5-star Megan, 5-star Rakuni, 5-star Shannon. Here's my favorite. A lot of the champs I've been talking about, right, are on their way up. I have pulled a couple of Nat 5s. I've got Praha and Leo here. And then on their way, I've got a lot of champs sitting because I'm not quite ready to do anything with them yet. Bernard, you can probably take to 5-star, and you don't have to expedite 6-starring Bernard. I don't think I ever 6-starred my Bernard back in the day. You can get everything you need out of him at 5-star. I don't think he gets faster at 6-star. So you can kind of see like who I'm prioritizing and what I'm working on. I'm working on bringing my Bella up. For some reason they got Bella down here. Oh, because it's doing it by level. Bella was my 3rd 6-star. So that kind of gives you an idea of what I'm working on. I'm prioritizing Giants. I've got a Giants B10 team down now, and I'm going to start working on Dragon, as well as getting familiar with the rest of the game. So kind of a long video. I didn't really know how else to do it than this. If there's someone I didn't mention, again, please give any tips that you want to give about monsters down below. I'm going to do kind of a beginner guide, what kinds of things to focus on, some tips that I can remember that I think are pretty handy. I'm gonna do that soon as well. So that's it. Hopefully it was helpful, and I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate y'all. See you later.